I've talked about credit before on my channel because clearly it kind of does tie into personal finance, and that's what a good chunk of my videos and my content are about. And with it being holiday shopping season, I know a lot of you are shopping for yourself, you're shopping for friends and family, probably a little bit more than usual, just because you may not physically be able to see them, but I want you to still be very, let's say, aware of just how much you're spending, but also the manner in which you're spending and how you're choosing to pay for gifts. Because as much as in the past I may have been like anti-credit card, listen, you learn about things and you understand also that if you are extremely disciplined, they don't have to be a bad thing. But if you are reckless this holiday season, it could wreck the start of your new year.
I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see. Yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still finish and one.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl TJ back with another video, Talks with TJ, aka TJ Two Shoes Chains. I hope you guys are having an amazing day when you're viewing this. So I'm actually filming this the previous week. It's on the day that the Weathered Black, aka the chocolate essentials, dropped, and just let me tell you, that drop was terrible. Like, none of the people that I know were actually able to hit on everything, so it just wasn't fun. But I was able to still secure some things, and hopefully you tuned in to the live that I had for the Nike basketball, or Nike and Fear of God, like the basketball-inspired apparel collection for 2020. I have no idea if I copped anything, you know, for it, because of course I'm filming this before that day even happened, but I certainly hope I did, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and hopefully you enjoyed this video today. If you are brand new, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Two Swish Crew, why is it that we seem to care way more about kicks than like credit or personal finance or anything that actually matters? Like, there are actual people I know where they prioritized making sure that they were able to get shoes versus needing tires on their car, like real life things that needed to occur. But I don't know, priorities just seem to get messed up, or maybe it's just because credit and money, personal finance and money management, they're like taboo topics. We don't really talk about them a whole lot, but we wonder why a younger generation is not really in the know. They don't feel secure. They don't feel as if they're really in control of their money. Now, I've gone through a journey when it comes to finances, and I don't think it's ever done in terms of myself. Like, I still prioritize paying off student loans right now during the pandemic. Now, could I have done better? Absolutely, but I still chose to buy things for myself because, duh, I work hard and I want stuff, but it was all within reason and it was all done responsibly, right? Again, number one rule, a need should never be sacrificed for a want, okay? I don't ever want you all to have a sneaker release come up and what's going through your mind is, well, man, I mean, but rent's coming up and, you know, yeah, like, that should never be even in question. Rent and your mortgage are always going to come up, just like gas and electricity and water and everything else, right? The staple things in life are always going to come up. Those are pretty much like your household expenses you're not getting rid of unless you got a sugar mama or sugar daddy, or you're just a deadbeat adult who doesn't take care of yourself or pay for anything. I'm just saying, don't be that person if you're a young adult. So in terms of sneakers, we place such an emphasis on them, right? Like, we want them. We have the releases that come out. They're special to us. This is special to me. They're special to us. But I just want to make sure that we're always driving home to young adults to, you know, be mindful of all of your life in terms of money, right? So with credit, again, the journey, I was one of those people, true story, like stark Dave Ramsey fan, anti-credit, credit's bad, no CC. But then you kind of have to take a step back, and I'll be honest with you, if you are a highly liquidable or you have a lot of liquid assets, it's fine for you to not care about credit because you can dish out cash whenever, and it honestly doesn't matter. But for the majority of us, like realistic people, credit can certainly be your friend, and if you are disciplined and responsible, credit is never a bad thing for you. It certainly doesn't have to be. Now, there are still some rules that I would tell you to follow when it comes to credit, okay? So use credit as a tool. Be in control of the tool, okay? The way I use a credit card, at no point should you charge something to me you don't have the money for right then and there. So when something is charged, like on a credit card, the money is sitting there. I could have just paid cash for it today, but instead I'm using it on a credit card for the purpose of building credit, right? Credit gives you options. Just like when you have a ton of sneakers, especially if they hold their value really well, it gives you options, right? Because if at any point you wanted to get rid of those kicks and have a lot of cash on hand, or even trade them in for other kicks like on Trade Block, you could certainly do that. It gives you options. Having credit gives you options because it gives you options of what you may want to go out and purchase, buy a home, a car, things of that nature. You have options, okay? Now, a score will matter when it comes to those options, but there are other areas of life like an employer, if they are doing a background check on you, they care about your credit history. They want to look at your actual payment. They look at the details, okay? The score can tell a story, but let me be honest with you. If you've ever co-signed for someone and they were negligent on paying the actual bill and you were just the co-signer, you will take a hit on your credit. And the higher your credit score, the harder that fall will be in points if they fail to pay, and then that's like a delinquent mark on your record. So just be aware of that. It doesn't mean that you were bad in any way, that you did anything wrong, but you're still going to take that hit. So another rule, don't ever co-sign for people. I'm just being honest. I don't care who they are. Don't co-sign for them. So an employer is going to look at your behavior, okay? Are you dedicated to making sure that you meet your responsibilities? Are you consistent? Are you on time? Can you show that you can sustain something over a long period of time? Those are traits that they're looking for in you as an employee before they hire you. So they're not really looking at the score of the employer credit report. They're looking at your actual history to see, is it volatile? Is it unstable? That's what they're looking for. But with credit, you can use it. So for me, I know exactly every single month before the month starts, I know exactly how much I'll pay in gas and groceries and eating out for bills like my cell phone and Netflix and car insurance. I know exactly what those bills will be. So one thing you can certainly do, first off, don't try this if you're not disciplined. Just don't do it. Just use cash until you actually have learned discipline in life, right? Like if you can stick to a fitness regimen, that's how you know you're disciplined. If you can't, I just wouldn't even bother. I'm just gonna be real with you. You're probably going to put yourself in a worse spot than a better spot. But if you are disciplined, you've shown that you can stick to something with some responsibility and accountability. If you have, say, 2 credit cards, right? And you use one just for groceries and gas. Like, no joke. And if you're one of those people that goes to Kroger for all of your groceries, you rack up a lot of points so you get money off in terms of gas. Let's say you have one that's just for Kroger and it's just for gas and it's just for groceries. All right, bet. You go and you pay for your gas and you pay for your groceries. You should already have a budget to know how much you're going to pay for that. When that bill comes in, okay, let the bill arrive. There are people that pay the bill off before it ever arrives. You actually need the statement to hit, and then you pay it in full. It's only if you don't pay in full and you pay that minimum, that interest starts to accumulate and then roll over, and then you're paying more for an item that you've already consumed. You don't want to do that, but let the actual statement come. And then you go pay it in full with the money you already have sitting there because you knew how much it was going to cost you. You have one card. It's for gas. It's for groceries, okay? You have another card. And maybe you already have planned out, this is what I'm going to spend on kicks, okay? You have a budget. I'm spending $200 on kicks this month. I'm spending $400 on kicks this month. Okay, fine. You go on Sneakers app, you pray you don't get an L, and you get the W, and the shoe is charged. For men, it's probably like $190 plus tax. For us, it's $140 plus tax, and it arrives, okay? Cool, got your shoe. Good. When the statement arrives, you had the cash already sitting there, and you pay that bill in full, okay? So you have 2 cards that are showing good credit usage, good history. This is what you want. And you're using them responsibly. And you're never putting yourself in a position where you're unable to pay, because at no point should you be charging things, again, you don't have the cash for. Okay? You have to be smart about this. Credit cards are a trap because people don't actually use self-discipline. You just feel the need to have it, knowing you don't have the money for it, but because I got a credit card, you just charge it. Just don't do that, okay? And I'm somebody, I know like there's a certain standard of credit usage that you should not go above. I legit don't go above like 10%. I'm gonna be honest with you. And at one point I had a credit card that by itself, its limit was $18,000, okay? Just straight up. Okay, so I certainly still wasn't choosing to use 10% of that. But there are people that use far more than that 10%, and it can get you in trouble. A lot of things can affect your score. It's pretty It sucks that when you're paying things down and you pay it off, it also affects your score, but that's because you're closing a line of credit, which means you're no longer showing that you're using it, and so that's detrimental to you. It sucks. It's just the game we have to play. But care about your score, because you should care about the actual behavior to have a good score, and that means being responsible, okay? Pay everything on time, never co-sign, don't use your credit card to charge something if you don't have cash for it. When the statement arrives, you pay it in full, do not pay the minimum. And I think that's all I got, okay? Care about credit. Care about your finances as much as you care about these kicks and trying to stunt for everyone who doesn't care. All right, so hopefully that helps somebody out today, young adult, especially this holiday season. As always, act your age, not your size. Peace out.